All right, YouTube, this is 2 Cent back with my 2 cents on OCTOPATH TRAVELER, and we got a new unit today, and it happened to be a sword user right after I put out my kind of tier list for sword users, so we'll kind of let you know where he falls with that tier list as well. But anyway, let's get into it. All right, first here, let's just take a look at the stats. We're getting a little low on the attack from what I would like to see, but the magic is up a little bit higher, so you might be a little more balanced there. Pretty decent crit. Speed, yeah, I'd like to see a little bit higher than that, but you know, let's go ahead and move on at the skills here. All right, looking at some skills here, we're gonna have, you know, some 2x sword and 2x light attack, which is gonna be nice, and 1 light AoE. We don't have access to a sword AoE, but we do have a light one. We have some kind of abilities that are going to be dependent on meeting a threshold at first. So you get 2 times power if an opponent has more than 10 shields, which I don't really understand why I'd really want to use that, maybe in certain scenarios, but if it's got more than 10 shields, I'm going to be trying to figure out how to break those shields, not just do a little bit extra damage on them. So, you know, might be some usefulness somewhere in there, but I don't like it. What is kind of nice is we do get a 4-hit, but it is random, so it's only good for your like single target fights. And you know, in those cases, then yeah, sure. But then we also get the 1.2 power if the enemy hasn't acted yet, but we've already talked about how his speed's kind of low. So I'm just not a big fan so far when we're looking at this kit here. Looking at his passives, 50% status ailment up. You know, some fights may be great, you know, having that extra resistance would be awesome, but certainly not one that I would be necessarily looking for. And then we have 15% chance to dodge certain attacks, and then if that's successful, then he gets a speed up. The problem is that 15% is still really low and hard to kind of depend on at any time frame. So I'm not a huge fan of the kit here. Might have some niche uses, but overall, I don't know. Let's look to see how he compares to Fior. He's got a little bit higher SP, a little bit higher magic, and a little bit higher crit. But other than that, all of his other stats are lower than hers. She has access to a 3 times hit that is single target, so you don't have to worry about variations as far as randomness. She's got a sword that is 2 times AoE. And then she's got these buffs that are like 20% attack up, 20% sword damage up. And I just feel like he is going to have a really hard time really kind of matching Fior in the damage aspect, and not going to be adding much to the team as far as like, you know, any sort of buffs or anything like that. So, you know, if I was going to look at where we're going to put him on the tier list, I think really I'd slide him in here with Sigrid and Trish. They at least provide some extra things for the team as far as damage and being able to buff. And I'm just not sure he's going to be able to hack it up there in S tier with Fior. So when we're looking at should you pull, it's going to be one of those things I just don't think you should. You know, if you really like this unit, yes, go ahead and pull for him. That's fine. You know, go for who you like over the kind of meta. It's just fine in games. But I would say even if you don't have Fior, I'd still say maybe don't pull for him. If you have Sigrid and Trish already on your team, then yeah, don't pull for this guy yet. I'm not saying necessarily that Trish and Sigrid are, you know, heaps better than him, since he does have the 5-star stats, but I just don't think you're going to get enough kind of bang for your buck of throwing your rubies at this banner. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and that's been my 2 cents.